I'm here at the United States Post Office, where you can get a day in the life behind the scenes of how the post office is during the holidays. Campus Resources are hosting an event for students who are feeling stressed and are also preparing for the holidays. Being a Yankees fan, especially from being from the East Coast, how was it in New York with all those people being out there, Yankees fans and Yankees versus Dodgers? Like, how's the atmosphere?
In a word, insane.
They can go to the Writing Center, Smart Lab, and also get these stress balls. The good thing for postal workers, if they don't want to go in the stores and shop for their families, they always have discounts where they can shop online and get it delivered to their house. Campus Resources are hosting an event for students who are feeling stressed and are also preparing for the holidays.
We're just here to give students an opportunity to relax. It's a naturally stressful time for students at any point in their college career. Coming into finals, you've been working away for 13 weeks, writing papers, taking tests, doing projects. It's all coming to a boil right now.
I have a lot of projects to finish, and working on those, I try to set aside a week for each of them.
Finals are coming, which sounds very scary, but shouldn't be. You have to understand that you are ready. You've been doing the work. You're ready for the finals.
Make sure to get your rest. Before you do anything, prioritize yourself.
You have self-taught yoga, art therapy, interact with the different resources we have here. They can go to the Writing Center, Smart Lab, and also get these stress balls.
So my name is Dr. Steve Silver. I'm one of the therapists at University Counseling Services. We do individual talk therapy, we do couples therapy, we have groups and workshops, all kinds of stuff. We have psychiatry as well. We're out here today because we hopefully are helping students de-stress with our services.
And I know some students are on their way toward graduating. For some, it's their last semester, and that has its own stressors, what happens after graduation. But take some time, do some art, listen to some jazz, eat some food, and recognize that there's lots of time to be ready for what comes next.
Reporting from Mazanita Lawn, Breanna Small, Valley View News.
You are now watching On Point.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
I take it further than a month. I mean, in terms of, you just can't encapsulate a culture in 28 this year because of the leap year, 29 days. So you have to live it every single day.
Let's say you get a phone call from the league that said they want you to be a personal trainer. What team would you be a trainer for?
That's a good one. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to Lakers. Lakers got some good players. They got LeBron. LeBron spent about $1.2 million on his body alone. So obviously that's big bucks, But at the same time, it's just, this is my home. This is LA. This is where it is. So I know this area. And at the same time, these players are coming from other places. So obviously, if I'm a native here and I can show them, take them out,
As being a big platform as you have, 75,000 subscribers.
I mean, I don't know about big platform. Hey, listen, I still got my own motivations to go. Hey, I'm all right. I ain't really there yet, but I get what you're saying. I mean, you're going to have haters everywhere you go. You can have people who are detractors who will try to deter you from your goals, but that's why I'm glad that I educated myself in school and I learned what it means to have a passion for something. Like, passion is the number one thing. If you're passionate about something, no matter what you're doing, you're gonna do it till its end.
How does it feel being in the business 8 years, celebrating that your restaurant has been around that long, and even though it's been around longer, but celebrating 8 years being in Carson at the new location? Yes. How does it feel?
It's a major milestone. You think about all the restaurants there are in the city, the county of Los Angeles. There's Latin cuisine, there's Asian cuisines on every corner. And we're at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to Cajun Creole cuisine.
It's been great having you here on Point. I am your host, Breanna Small, and thank you for watching. Today I'm speaking with Jazal Hassan. Yankees are back in the World Series. How do you feel?
Well, it's compelling for two reasons, obviously, Bree. Well, one, Yankees-Dodgers. Okay, they've met 11 times in previous World Series, and it's been 43 years since the teams have played. But the most compelling thing for this year immediately is two best teams in baseball. The Yankees had the best record in the American League. The Dodgers had the best record in the National League in baseball, and it's two traditional powers clashing for the World Series championship.
And I know, as you mentioned, the Dodgers, we also want to mourn as well Fernando Valenzuela, who has died.
Yeah, Fernando passed away, and I mean, just a whole legacy. Obviously, a Dodger icon, but also an icon for the city of Los Angeles, where you consider where the location of Dodger Stadium is. And I'm old enough to remember when that was all starting, and I was a very young baseball fan, and it was amazing because back then, it wasn't like it is today, where you have 24-hour around-the-clock coverage. And I remember growing up on the East Coast. And Fernando would be the lead story, once the Yankees and Mets were done, Fernando would be the lead story because of that amazing start he had. And then actually, I think either today or yesterday when we're taping is the anniversary of his World Series win in 1981. Now, the Dodgers won the World Series in 1981, 4-2 over the Yankees. But what's interesting is the Yankees won the first two games. Fernando won Game 3, and then the Dodgers went on to win that series.
And it's a rematch matchup.
Yeah, it's a great matchup of great players. The Dodgers, obviously, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman. The Yankees, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Garrett Cole. And so it's really interesting. The SoCal aspect of it is Game 1 on Friday will be Jack Flaherty, who was a Harvard Westlake High School, and then Garrett Cole went to Orange Lutheran. So it's a little Southern California connection. And then I'm sure it's been pointed out that both managers, Dave Roberts played college baseball at UCLA. I'm a college baseball guy. And Aaron Boone played college baseball at USC. So there's a lot of SoCal.
It's like a
a lot of SoCal going on.
Right now with USC and UCLA.
Yes.
It's like, what could you say that has worked for them this season to get them this far?
I think this goes for both teams. I mean, as far as from a Yankee perspective, the people, obviously, everybody talks about Judge and Soto, and deservedly so. But, Giancarlo Stanton was the MVP of the ALCS. And then, guys who who struggled a little bit for parts of the regular season, Alex Verdugo. People wanted him. They were like, let's play the rookie, Jason Dominguez instead. And he's been productive. Clay Holmes, the Yankees closer, he didn't have a great end of the season. He actually was removed from that role. He has played a big role. So, I forget, I think it was as Bill Plaschke or Shaken had written this morning that this series will more than likely, with all the superstars that are in it, right, it'll be decided by role players, guys who maybe you don't expect to have an effect on the series will more than likely have an effect on this series. Like, for example, in the Mets series, how the Dodgers bullpen really made them stand up. They were struggling in terms of starting pitching because of the injuries, but the bullpen really stepped up for the Dodgers and not only helped them win that series, but also I think played a big role in their win over the Padres.
Being a Yankees fan, especially from being from the East Coast, how was it in New York with all those people being out there, Yankees fans and Yankees versus Dodgers? Like, how's the atmosphere?
In a word, insane, because New York is a baseball town, okay, because they have two teams and they talk about baseball. No matter what the other teams are doing, they talk about baseball 12 months out of the year in New York, Maybe the only teams that maybe have when the Knicks are going well or the Rangers are going well, it can get to that level of fervor. But when the Mets and Yankees are good together like they were this year, when both teams make the playoffs, it's really heated. I'm guessing it'd be the same way in LA if it was the Dodgers and the Angels, but we haven't seen the Angels kind of do that in a little while. And just the run the Dodgers have had, I think they've been in the playoffs every year since 2013. They've won the division every year except for 2021. They've already been to 3 World Series. They won the one in 2020. So. And I've always believed, even though the success obviously now is self-evident, but I've always believed LA is kind of a Dodger town. As good as the Lakers always are, LA to me will always is a Dodger town. And it's just been exacerbated over the past decade because of the success they've had. And I know this is it's a big deal in New York too, but it's obviously a big deal. You get the Yankees, and the Yankee-Dodger rivalry goes back to, I know you said your family's from Brooklyn?
Yeah, my family's from Brooklyn.
Goes back to the Brooklyn days.
Especially with my mom being a Yankees fan as well.
Having followed the Yankees for a long time, this is the first time in a long time, especially in the postseason, where I think the opponent has a better bullpen. And the Dodger bullpen has performed better than the Yankee bullpen. Now, to be fair, the Yankee bullpen has been pretty good in the postseason, but they're talking about 4 and 5 game series, whereas the Dodgers had a 5-game series against the Padres and then a 6-game series against the Mets. So you worry about that a little bit. But I think the one advantage the Dodgers always have is their firepower. You know, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Ohtani, Muncy, you know, Erdman recently, everybody up and down that lineup. But the Yankees are used to the firepower playing in the American League, which will be interesting. So I really think this series comes down to the Yankees starting pitching, how much production can they get out of their starters versus how do the Yankees match up against that solid Dodger bullpen. And then the superstars, right? I mean, Ohtani, I've been waiting to see Ohtani in the postseason because I believe it would be unreal. And he's been very good, but not kind of that top level of guy that we know that he is. And then the injury to Freddie Freeman obviously factors into that because he's got to play first base. You can't DH him because of Ohtani. Hopefully the ankle's okay and he can play all the games. As far as the Yankees go, you know, Aaron Judge wasn't particularly big in either of the series. It fell on Giancarlo Stanton and Juan Soto. So that'll be an interesting aspect. Do Ohtani and Judge kind of revert to the mean, right? Probably they did in the regular season.
Thank you for coming
thank you so much
today. And back to you.